Hello, my name is Michael Lewis and I'm the owner operator of Jay's Banquets at the Auditorium here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We are a full service venue, and when I say full service, we execute everything from food, bar, decor, catering, staffing. However, today I wanted to take the time to talk to you a little bit about a sensitive subject that every family has to deal with from time to time, unfortunately, and that's bereavements and repasses. Dealing with or working with clients in that difficult time, I've learned to be more of an expert. So I wanted to share some of that insight with you all. What I'm gonna do is kind of go over some of the things that you must have in order to plan and execute, hopefully, an unfortunate but successful memorial service or repast or bereavement for your friend or family. First thing you need to do is find a facility. But after finding a facility, you have to speak with your church or mortuary or funeral home. You have to discuss what date, what time. That is very, very important. From occasions, I've actually had unfortunate incidents where individuals had booked the date, booked the time, but never got with the funeral home. They just assume, and it's a very emotional process. So one of the things you definitely need to do is confirm those things. The date and time from the funeral home, and if it's at a church, then confirm the date and time with that as well, and then coordinate with the facility to make sure that that date and time is available. Secondly, once you do those things, you have to understand what you personally are going through in regards to going to execute with that loved one. Are you going to a cemetery? Is this person being cremated? Those things matter in regards to timing. Down here in the South, New Orleans, if you have a 10 o'clock service, then at a church that's non-Catholic, then more than likely you're going to be getting out at about 12 o'clock, especially if this person was loved by everyone. So with that being said, you want to make sure that you start your repast at 1 o'clock, because hopefully that's enough time allowed where you can leave the church, go to the burial site if applicable, and from there make your way back to the place where you're holding a memorial service or repast with the rest of your family and friends. One of the other things that you most definitely need is a liaison. You need a person not truly affiliated with the family, but strong enough to grieve, but be strong enough to help you guys. You need that third party outside y'all's immediate circle. They need to know what you know, what your wishes are. Do you want people to eat, move on about their business as soon as they come through the door, or you want people to wait on the family? That helps the facility and your catering team know what they need to do to make sure things are done the way that you all want them to be done. More importantly, speaking of catering, you need catering, you need food, you need beverages, but you need a facility. And a facility is the main thing, a place you feel comfortable, confident in executing that family member's repast memorial service comfortably and within a proximity that makes sense for everyone. Our facility just so happens to have a lot of things that come standard, like I said, with full service. So besides decor being one of the options, we provide options in linen. Some people like black, others may want to celebrate life and go with white or ivory, depending on what that person's color is. At the end of the day, we are here to just ensure that you as a client have as less stress as humanly possible. But these things matter because also with that facility, when you're telling them, hey, I want to start at 1 o'clock, then people need to know what time they're allowed to come in, especially if you're doing everything on your own. Another thing that you need is catering. Somebody has to cook the food, serve the food, pass out the food. Unfortunately, I've seen a lot of successful events and I've seen a lot of fails. And a lot of these fails are assumptions. So main thing you have to have is a team outside the family. If the family is that family that does everything for everybody, then that family needs other people to step up and serve the food if you all are doing everything else. Who's going to get there to set up the chafing dishes? Who's going to get up there to light the sternos? Chafing dishes and sternos are not microwaves. They're not microwaves. So the food needs to come hot because all it's going to do is keep it at that temperature. Beverages. Beverage service can go a couple of different ways. I notice some people always like to come with a cooler, already iced down drinks. I find that to be an epic failure. Reason being, not everybody's going to drink all these different sodas and things that you're serving. So if you take the time, quite honestly, take the time, buy the canned beverages, stack the canned beverages, get some cups, get some ice set aside. This will save you time and transportation at the end of the day. Yes, it's easier to just ice down the beverages, this, that, and the other, but how many events we know we've left and people have ultimately just had so many beverages left over, and then you find yourself throwing them away. At the end of the day, if they're room temperature, then they could be stacked at that grieving family's house for later usage, later on during the week, the month, or the year. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't have to be immediately dispensed amongst family members because it's an iced down product. So hopefully these things help you out in this difficult time, or that difficult time where you can help execute this unfortunate event to the best of your ability. You know, that's a facility, that is tables, that's chairs, that's decor. And decor could be linens, it could be party setting linens. It doesn't have to be elegant, but everybody's different. So you need staff to help. And when I say staff, that staff could be church volunteers. You need someone to cook the food, serve the food, and more importantly, after it's all said and done, you need volunteers to help clean up. So, you know, you're renting a space from someone and you all are bringing everything in. You need somebody to be able to step up and clean the facility at the end. So I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen. Share this video. God bless.